field.
Joe?
Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores brings you Garage Logic podcast number
quick.
1295, April 25th, 2024. Was 91 degrees on this day in 1962. I think that's 2 days in a row for 62. And 25 degrees on this day in 1907. There is no threat of an imminent swimming occasion, but you know it's just around the corner. So if you have a lake home or a swimming pond, get a hold of the people who make the products of Aquaside. They're made in White Bear Lake. They've been keeping weeds and swimming areas free of weeds and algae for more than 60 years with products that are easy to use and work quickly and register with the EPA and DNR. There's no need to let weeds overtake your lake or pond this summer. Call Aquaside. Tell them what you're staring at, and they'll get you the right products. Call Aquaside at 1-800-328-9350 or go to aquaside.com. And Aquaside, of course, brings us the ice outs. Minnetonka went out on this day in 1888, 1904, and 1962. We're kind of nearing the end. White Bear Lake went out in 1940, 1962, and 1972.
In general, or are we nearing the end in ice outs?
Ice outs.
Got it.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Sushiro.
I would like to spend a moment on bicycles.
You want to go ride a bike? Go to Eco Fun Motorsport.
Are they coming up today? Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Yes, it is.
I'm at peace with the whole deal. The bicyclists continue to win, and that's fine with me. I have other problems. But St. Paul just passed yesterday legislation in the city council to expand St. Paul's bicycle access by 163 miles.
Oh, wow.
Additional paths and protected areas and raised curbs. And it's 163 miles of protected bike lanes. And that'll be over the next 15 years. And it ostensibly will be paid for by sales tax in the city. And they want to get more people biking and get people out of cars. Okay.
It's not going to happen.
The reason I bring this up is that it was in the Pioneer Press the other day, and quite a few people got a chortle out of it. The guy told me he chortled when he saw it. The representative for Ward, this led me to a new theory. My theories are worthless, but I have another new one.
You got a new one every day.
The fellow who was chortling said, "Did you read the bike plan story in the paper this morning?" This would have been Tuesday. And I said, no, because I've made my peace with this. I don't care what they do. I can't do anything about it. We're governed by people who really, really think this is the way to go, even though we have no biking season here to speak of. So what he wanted me to point out is that Chaniqua Johnson represents Ward 7. Ward 7 is a great swath of the east side. Battle Creek, Dayton's Bluff, Conway, Eastview, on and on and on. And Chaniqua won the seat that Jane Prince vacated. Jane Prince was the last sane woman. By sane, I mean ideologically sane. She was a committed leftist, but had an open mind.
There was some wiggle room.
She knew what was going on.
Okay.
All right. But she had enough, apparently, and she's done. And Chaniqua Johnson represented her. And she was quoted in the Pioneer Press as saying, I contacted all my constituents about this 163-mile bike plan. And she said, I got 3 responses. Exactly 3.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So I got curious. About 5,000 people voted in Ward 7 out of multiple thousands of people. So, there's a bit of apathy there, right? And she won not by a landslide at all over her opponent, whose name escapes me, another woman, a Hmong woman. And I got to thinking, okay, lady, you got 3 responses on your, which I'm sure was a very positive mailing about I said, won't this be great if we get, 3. What that should alert a normal human being to, but did not alert Shaniqua to, is that they're not capable of seeing. I mean, the St. Paul City Council, but this would be true the closer you get to the country's tallest buildings. They're not capable of seeing, embracing, or understanding that the things they want are the least of people's problems. In other words, if you live on the east side, it's to me, it stands to reason that 163 additional miles of biking pavement is the least of your concerns. The least.
Podder Vang.
Yes.
But
Kenny.
isn't that what they want, Joe? That means they can shove this down your throat with no debate.
Right. I'm getting to the point, however weak it is, that I'm trying to make. It doesn't occur to the likes of Shaniqua, who's a lifelong St. Paulite, might be a great woman. I don't know anything about her. But it doesn't occur to her ilk that lands on the kitchen table of a typical citizen on the east side. That's the least of their problems. But they're going to go ahead with it anyway, because to the activists on the city council, that's what they know.
Mm-hmm.
They know it's important for them to get you out of a car and onto a bicycle. They don't know what stress there might be on a family to buy shoes for the kids to go to school. How about public safety? How about just the list is endless of what people could be worried about before they ever allow themselves to have a 5 minutes of quietude in their life where everything is so settled. Everything is so taken care of that they think, 163 additional miles of bike pavement would be pretty cool. They're a world away from that.
Yeah.
A world away from that. So then I went further and I looked up Shaniqua.
Okay.
And comes from a mom and dad, and they were raised on the east side. But she never, and she's had a dozen jobs, not one of them outside government. She's worked for Allison. She's worked for Hillary. She's been an aide to this. She's been a member of this community action group. Good for her. I'm not indicting her for that. What I'm suggesting is she has never, maybe except with the exception of growing up, she has never been exposed in her working life to what might really be of concern to the recipient of her mailing about bike paths. She's been protected, coddled, and embraced by a public class all her life. Same with the mayor of St. Paul. He's never done anything except be in the public.
Right.
They can't identify with what is happening under the roof of a normal constituent. They aren't worried about bike paths. They're all activists. What do activists bring to the table? Activism. What does the activism involve? It involves ephemeral things. It involves existential things. It involves things that have nothing to do with getting through your daily life, getting to work, working, public safety, getting kids to school, having enough food on the table, fixing a hole in the roof. The backyard fence just went down. Somebody just burglarized my garage and knocked holes in the garage door windows. All precision. This is not their world. This is just not their world. And if you gave them the hardware store test, I bet they'd all flunk it. Have you been to a hardware store in the last 6 months?
3 times over the weekend, I was standing my deck. I went to Fred Aloni's 3 times in
I've
one
had
day.
to do that often.
It's awesome.
So that I'm done with bicycles. We're going to get a new 163 miles of bike pavement in St. Paul. I think that was inevitable. Switch that to the people opposed to turning Summit Avenue into part of a regional bike trail. The activists on the council have no concern for the history of Summit Avenue because it was basically founded by wealthy white lumbermen and railroad barons. They have no concern for that, and they have no concern for the people who live there now and have real life concerns, property taxes, hole in the roof, whatever. None. Parking their car, where are you going to park your car?
And ironically, the property taxes they pay are way more than the pet taxes that the people in the council pay. Way
Absolutely.
more. Way more.
Absolutely. So there you have it. That was just my little speech on bikes today. I don't know where to take this, except we, the citizens of the cities closest to the country's tallest buildings, this is the fault of voters. This is exactly the fault of voters who are neither concerned about producing candidates who understand life or don't care or are simply outnumbered by the people who stand to benefit from the election of activists.
Or all of the above.
Or all
And
of the
remember,
above.
you're in one of those categories because you clearly stated you don't care anymore. So you've given up.
Ooh,
No,
that's a gotcha.
I'm to the point. I'm to the point where yes, I don't care because
But you vote, and it's not
I'm
going to
old
stop
and-
you from voting.
No, I'll vote, but I've never won.
Right?
I've never had a victory in St. Paul.
So I feel the same way you do, but for different reasons. I don't live there anymore and don't care. But last time I was there, we went down the street where I used to live, and we got to 42nd Street only to discover that there's now a curb in the middle of the street, so you can't take a left. You can only go right, westbound. Guess what Kenny did in his 3/4-ton giant pickup truck?
Right over the curb.
Right over the curb. Kenny does what he wants. The roommate got a kick out of that, actually, and did not yell at me.
You know, the street lights are out. Car thefts are up. Crime is rampant. Light rail and the public transportation they want to push you on is not safe more often than not. Well, anyway, we've done those shows, and I'm sure it'll all come up again. And I don't have an ounce of anger that the city council approved 163 miles of new protected bike lanes.
I am
I don't-
not
it's-
liking this defeated Joe.
It's not that with bicycles, I've given up. They've been sold a bill of goods about this. It's a ridiculous state to bet on bicycles. It doesn't work half the year, and yet it just has been pushed and pushed and pushed. And God knows how many people have been hired and have jobs now on bicycle coalitions and things of that nature. I I tried to contact Shaniqua.
You
I didn't try. I emailed her
Okay.
and said, Shaniqua, Joe Souchere from the Pioneer Press and Garage Logic, would you please call me at your convenience? And I left her my number. And I went the email route because A, no number was provided on her official website stuff. And B, apparently people are responding to emails, I guess, these days more often than they respond to telephone calls. Well, sure enough, I got a response.
You did.
Well, I'm gonna
automatic.
No. I'm
Oh,
going to
okay.
read you. I'm going to read you the response.
One of the interns?
I hope I didn't delete it. Damn it.
Whoops.
Oh.
Well, if it's an email, you can retrieve it. If it's a text,
It's an email. Yeah, not a text. It's an email.
Okay.
Let me go to email. I don't think I would have deleted that.
Probably
Here it
not.
is, right
You
here.
got it right there.
All right. Oh, that's mine. Shanika, would you please call me about the bicycle pass? Thank you. Then I gave her my name and number. All right.
Patrick Racy, Star Tribune.
Let me.
Now it's right underneath the one above it.
It is?
Yep.
No, it isn't.
Wow.
Here it is. Let's go here. Well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
These
Oh,
are all
Joe.
sent ones.
That was me. I'd sent a fake one.
Oh, Joe.
Just a minute.
Kenny, what are you doing tonight?
Hey, you need some more
I
ice
found
chips in your water?
I got it.
I apologize. I don't
Shawl.
like all of this. Here we go.
You comfy?
Hi, Joe. Councilmember Johnson had a council meeting today. Well, I emailed yesterday at 4:00.
Yeah.
Councilmember Johnson had a council meeting today. The city's bike plan passed unanimously. You are more than welcomed to send over your thoughts with Councilmember Johnson at Ward 7 at St. Paul, as that is her official email address. The public written comment closed. However, Councilmember Johnson is happy to connect you to Jimmy Shoemaker, who is the City of St. Paul's staff person overseeing this. You can also find out information here, St. Paul Bicycle Plan. Thank you, signed Team Shaniqua.
Yeah.
So
Team. Somebody's named Team.
she's got a lot of her pals are probably on her staff and getting paid, which is fine. I can't do anything about that either. But I don't want to do, I just wanted to say here, my only question for her is, does it occur to you that maybe it's the least of your constituents' problems that you got 3 responses? That was my only question here.
I love how they have her protected so well.
Team Shaniqua.
I don't even know who she is. And
Well,
she's got
she
layers of protection.
she's a St. Paul. She's been around, but you're not going to find her working at Ace Hardware.
Got it.
You know,
A frat might
Or entering.
hire.
but Frattle.
He might hire.
Frat might.
He's pretty desperate.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, there's your bike ban. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I got to take a time out, don't I?
You got to calm down, brah.
Well, I'm not upset.
Are you Zen? Are you Zen?
What is Zen?
I don't know.
You know what? I need some run offers.
Where's that, man? Oh,